Welcome back once more. I still remember Mr. Taiwo, This is Tender Care Motorstolic School International, Cairo, Egypt. Now I'll be taking you science, and which topic says food chains. Again, food chain. Before I proceed, I will give you the definition of food chain. A food chain is a linear network of links in a food web, starting from the producer organization and ending at apex predator species. Again, a food chain is a linear network of links in a food web, starting from the producer organization and ending at apex predator species. Now, a food chain has a linear network of producer and consumer. In food chain, there is something that we have producer and we have consumer. A food chain also shows how the organisms are related with each other by the food they eat. That is, it shows the relationship between the producer and the consumer by the food they eat. Each level of food chain represents a different trophic level. See diagram below. That is, each level of food chain represents a different trophic. For example, we have plant. Plant is one of the producer, and it feeds from the sun, which is called photosynthesis. It feeds from the sun, that is, it gets energy from the sun. Now we have insect. Insect feed from plant. This is just simple diagram that shows the relationship between producer and consumer. Insect, it feeds from what? From plant. We have lizard. Lizard feeds from insect. Lizard is a simple predator. It feeds from insect. Now we have snake. Snake feeds from lizard. Now this simple diagram shows the difference between the producer and the consumer. The origin of the producer started from what? Plant. It started from plant. And plant gained its own energy from the sun. Now we have different type of consumer. Number one, we have primary consumer, secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer. Now I'm going to show you the image. The image of food chain. Now, as you can see, this is image of food chain. Look at the sun. This is where the plant gains its own food. The plant gets its own food from the sun, as well as the water from the soil. The water from the soil and carbon dioxide from air. It gains carbon dioxide from air and water from the soil, as well as sun. That is where the plant feeds on. That is where plant gets its own energy. That is where it gets its own food. Now we go to insect, like grasshopper. It gets its own food from the plant. This is where it gets its own food. Now we have frog, which is secondary consumer, because I made mention of primary, secondary, and tertiary. This is primary and this is secondary. The frog feeds from grasshopper. Why is it secondary? Because it feeds a simple predator. I call it simple predator because it feeds on animal. It feeds on animal. Why this is primary consumer? Because it does not feed on animal, it only feeds on plant. Now we have snake. This is tertiary consumer. It can feed on frog. It's called tertiary consumer and is a broad predator. It can feed on frog as well as grasshopper. Now we have final consumer, which is hawk. Hawk can feed on snake and can also feed on frog. Now we have fungi. Hawk can feed from fungi as well. So these are the example of food chain from this diagram. These are example of food chain from this diagram. Next class, we'll be looking at predator and prey and grain plant. Predator and prey and grain plant. Now, thank you for watching. If you have any question, you can ask. But after that, you can go to our YouTube channel to like and comment. You can as well get your material from the YouTube channel.